All right, a good Saturday afternoon to you. Thanks for finding us on YouTube. I'm meteorologist John Dawson. This is the Fox 26 Tropical Update. We're here every day of hurricane season, bringing you the latest of whatever's happening out there in the tropics. And today we're just going to focus on the Atlantic, and we're pretty much going to be talking about the one thing that's been catching the attention of the Hurricane Center. If you checked in on Friday, you might have noticed that there was a couple spots that the Hurricane Center were monitoring down in the far southwestern Caribbean, as well as right on the coast of Georgia and northeastern Florida. Those are no longer being watched closely, let's just put it that way, by the National Hurricane Center. Still checking out this tropical wave that's out in the Atlantic. And of course, they like to give it some odds, some probabilities, some chances of developing into a tropical cyclone. So right now it is just kind of a tropical wave. You maybe could call that a low pressure system depending on how you want to define things. But looking to be a full-blown tropical cyclone, not there yet. Looks like 30% chance over the next 2 days, so that's pretty low. But over the next 7 days, it's certainly going to enter some more favorable conditions. I think there's still going to continue to be less dust involved, a little less of the upper level winds, and still these waters are still very warm out in the Atlantic, so everything's kind of lining it up in place. They have identified this formally as this tropical wave as Invest 96L. So those of you keeping track at home, this is 96L. Running all the computer modeling on it once you're identifying that and sort of giving the current stats on it. 25-mile-an-hour winds that are sustained. The movement is about 23 miles an hour to the northwest, so that's moving fairly quickly. Pressure's at 114 millibars. So this will continue to keep an eye on it, but basically all indications are that this is not going to be a system that interacts with land. If it were to form into a tropical cyclone and kind of stay on track, it looks like it's one that's going to stay out in the Atlantic. So all of that looking like some good news. We like the way that all of that looks. If it continues to develop and progress, again, the next couple of days, not really looking all that great, but let's say we get into Tuesday and it is strong enough that it's a tropical storm, then it would receive a name, of course, and that next name on the list is Emily. So our E named storm would be next. As always, again, thanks for finding us here on YouTube. This is my social media as far as Twitter and Facebook and Instagram are concerned. It would be great if you wanted to follow me there. But if you want to see some of my hurricane preparedness videos here on YouTube, punch in meteorologist John Dawson in YouTube. Search for meteorologist John Dawson. That's the best way to find me, my channel, and then you've got all sorts of options there as far as those hurricane preparedness videos, the hurricane gear test, I call it. Get to see some things that might want to include in your hurricane kits. Again, thanks for finding us here on Saturday afternoon. We'll look for you back here tomorrow afternoon.